By the time you've enrolled in this Level 3 course, you'll already know that Power Systems virtual servers are located across IBM data centers, distinct from the IBM cloud servers with separate networks and direct attached storage. These environments operate in their own pod, and the internal networks are fenced off from one another. However, they still offer connectivity options to meet customer requirements where they live, including access even to the public internet should that be required. This carefully calibrated infrastructure enables Power Systems Virtual Server to maintain key enterprise software certification and support that customers that would receive with an on-premises infrastructure, but with the added flexibility and the new capabilities that come from working in an IBM cloud deployment. With the environment provided to you for this Level 3 course via the IBM Technology Zone, we'll explore in detail how to go about configuring your infrastructure to work with private and public endpoints. With the Power Systems Virtual Server services, you can quickly create and deploy one or more virtual servers that are running either something like AIX, IBM I, or Linux operating systems. And after you provision the Power Systems Virtual Server, you get access to the infrastructure and the physical computing resources without needing to manage or operate them directly yourself. However, you must manage the operating systems that run on top of that infrastructure and the software applications and the data that also live above the infrastructure layer. Given that this course is primarily a demonstration of the infrastructure as a service components of Power VS, we won't delve too deeply into the application layer or the day-to-day administrative tasks that are often done atop of something like an IBM I deployment. But we will explore the fundamentals of working with AIX and Linux atop of IBM Power Systems Virtual Server so that you have some expertise necessary to tailor bespoke demonstrations with your clients. Before you create a Power VS Virtual Server instance, you must understand the differences between the terminology of a Power VS service and a Power VS instance. Think of a Power VS service as a container for all the Power VS instances at the specific geographic region that you've selected. Power VS instances are virtual machines or VMs. The service is available from the resource list in the IBM Cloud portal. For example, you can have two services, one in Dallas, another in Texas. Each service can contain multiple instances. A service must be associated with an IBM Cloud resource group, which helps in grouping resources, assigning permissions, and allowing different groups or teams of users access to those resources. The key parameters for any Power VS service are the following. First is the location of your data center. As of August in 2022, Power VS is co-located with 15 different IBM Cloud data centers located across different geographies of the world. When selecting a data center, consider choosing the data center that's located nearest to the majority of the end users that will be accessing the workloads that are running in your Power VS environment. The second parameter is the service name. The Power VS service name will appear in the IBM Cloud portal under the provision services. Specify a name that is unique to you and one that you'll easily recognize and understand the meaning of when you come across it in that resource list. Resource groups are the third parameter. They are used to organize resources in your IBM Cloud account. All administrative tasks and access rights for a Power VS resource are associated with the Power VS service, not the individual Power VS instances, which are the separate VMs like the ones you'll be running today. Once a Power VS service is assigned to a resource group, the resource group cannot be changed.